Here, this is a small rig cage, and it has this beautiful satin metal black finish on it, which is really nice. It's got NATO rails on both sides, which is really nice. It's got a cutout for your hand grip there, which is nice. It's also got notches here for the hand straps, should you decide to use one. It's got a cutaway if you need to use the audio unit. It's got stoppers here to hold the camera from twisting, and it's got threaded holes here for metabones or lens support. It's all one piece, nicely made. Here's the handle that I bought for it. It's a really nice handle. Notice here that it's got a hole for a 15mm rod. You can also put a 15mm rod in here. One of the things that I like about this cage is you've got a cold shoe here on the back. Most cages here just have one on the front, which is great, but oftentimes when I'm using this, I've got it on a tripod, and if I put my wireless mic on here, I can see easily what's going on with that wireless mic, and I can turn it on and off. This is an inexpensive cage, and it comes pretty much a la carte. You can order whatever top handle you like. I like this one. And you can add extra rails on it if you choose to. There's one cold shoe here and one 1/4-20 here. There are some other 1/4-20s here, but one of the things I find a little disappointing is, you know, if you've got the handle on, you really only have access to one. Color, then the small rig cage. It doesn't have NATO rails on either side, but it has lots of opportunities. It has two here. I would say this one is perhaps a little difficult to get to. One of the things that you'll notice here if you purchase it is the finish is kind of, it's not as smooth as that on the, it's almost like a matte finish, and it's very thick and well built, but it's not one piece as the small rig cage is. You can see here that it's put together with screws. It doesn't give me any concern. It is very sturdy. You'll notice here that at the bottom you have, it comes with this Arca Swiss plate on the bottom, because that's what goes with the, I believe it comes with it anyway. It goes with the rod block that you can order from it. Like the, well, let me just go here with the handle here. The handle is very similar to the one that I have on my small rig. because it's got a brushed finish, and things don't move quite as easily, oops, as they might. It has as well the 15 millimeter rod hole here. It looks like it's got a 50 millimeter rod hole here, but it's undersized. It won't work as a rod hole. None of these do. I think they were intended for this type of insert, so these are 1/4 20s. So you have a little bit less in the way of options as to how this works. You've got a cold shoe on the top here. You notice there's no cold shoes on the rig itself. One of the reasons that this cage is unique is that if you notice here, there is a gap, and you'll see here in a little bit later, what happens here is there is a small Arca Swiss plate that you attach to your GH5, and then you put it in here. It snaps in place very snugly, and it works, and then you can just pull the camera out. And that's something that's very useful for me, because a couple of weeks ago I was at an event shoot photography, and I was able to pull the GH5 that's out of this one, the Lanparte. I pull it straight out of the cage. I can use that Arca Swiss plate on any Arca Swiss stuff, and I don't have the cage to deal with. The small rig, I had to use it with the cage, which made it a little bit less convenient. Okay, this is typically how I have my small rig set up for shooting live theater, concerts, or dance recitals. I think the thing that you should note here is that I'm using the rod riser here, and it's not because I'm going to use the rods. It's if I need to get at the battery compartment, either to put in the power line from the Atomos, or whether or not I use a battery, you need to be able to get access to the door. And it doesn't matter whether you're using a gearhead like this, or a traditional video tripod, or a ball head. This can be a concern. There is NATO rails on this side, so I could have used something other than this magic arm here. There is the 15 millimeter rod, which I could have used to support this. On this side, I have the Atomos power unit, which in this case could power everything. Could power the camera, the recorder, and the monitor recorder. This is, I also have a shotgun mic here. This is getting me scratch audio. This device here is taking audio from the house. So these two audio sources are independent. And so that's a redundancy is your friend if you're an event video, because sometimes you get a bad feed from the house that you can't use. I also record at the edge of the stage as well with another recorder. But you can see this is looks very good. It's very sturdy. I'm very happy with the setup time and everything that goes with this. About the only thing I can say is this power button is very easy to turn on. It's a little niggly to get your finger in there to turn it off. But other than that, I don't have any complaints about this cage. Okay, this is the way that I normally rig up my second camera. This is another GH5. This is on the Lanparte cage. You can see here I've added a NATO rail, NATO clamp, a magic arm to support the monitor here. This is a Samurai blade, so it's SDI. That's because I normally use this with a ENG type camera. But I have here a Blackmagic converter that converts HDMI to SDI. That's powered by the Atomos Ninja. It's not attached right now, but normally it's just a USB cable comes here, provides it with the power it needs. I got a microphone here, basically just for scratch audio. Normally it would have a cable going from here into the GH5. It's the whole rig, the whole setup is very solid, and I'm very happy with it. This is a monitor arm from Atomos, or from Small Rig rather, and it's basically very similar to the one that you saw earlier. It's got a lock here, and you can slide it back and forth on the base plate. The base plate comes if you buy the rod set up here, and of course you can just lift off the whole rig here, which is really nice with Arca Swiss connector here. The camera itself can come out as well, right out of the, there's a little, whoops, don't want to do that. I just opened the door. Some people worry about why did I, well, this is a little Arca Swiss plate on the bottom here, and you can use that with any Arca Swiss stuff. It's oriented the wrong way, but it's not a big deal one way or another. One of the things people ask, you know, why did you get the rod set up? You're not using any rods on here. Well, you need to have this riser in order to get access to this door, whether you're using it with battery or you're using it with the Atomos power station. So that's a key thing there. I'm very happy with both of these rigs. If I had to do it again, I'd probably buy 2 of the Lanparte, but I think it's just dandy the way it is.